think that's kind of the last scene that we had was down there, and you are headed up to the door at the base level of this cavern. And you had already opened the door. So I'm going to tell you what you find on the other side. As you open the door, immediately down here in the it was a big, open, spacious cavern that you were in before, but very humid, dank, stale air, warm. As you open it, a fresh breeze cuts through the open door, and all of you look through to see fairly large circular room. Looks to be maybe almost the top of a tower. There's kind of this parapet to it where the ceiling goes up to a point. And there are a couple windows on the far end that look out onto a forest. But it looks like you are pretty high up, judging from the view out of those windows. And in this large circular room, there are a variety of crates, small trading tables, smaller boxes, sacks overflowing with things in the corner. Like, there are pieces of gold. There are small gems in here. There are also knickknacks and weapons, crossbow bolts, bits and pieces of armor strewn around. And to cap this all off, you see about a dozen Kenku. Just those small crow folk that I think not all of you had seen them for the first time back in Aspario, but some of you, that was maybe the first time. Vox, you would have grown up around them. Although not this version of Vox, maybe. But you do see about a dozen of these Kenku scurrying back and forth, trading little baubles and bits with each other. And as you opened the door to this space, they all just kind of stop and look at you. And then go back to what they're doing.
All right, well, let's, get a move on then already.
Yeah, are you all entering into
Grim,
the space?
Yeah,
you know where we're
Perrin's
going
waving
from
everyone
here?
through.
You did well. You led us this far. We got what Atticus came for.
Don't forget what we're here for next. I'm not going home empty-handed.
Oh, I'm not forgetting.
Could
And
you,
Nyx is going to look at Flora and, lead the way.
Could you remind me what you're looking for again, Vox? So we can do this as quick as possible.
Box is going to whip out 2 of the daggers that are quick release and just double hand them. We're completing the deck. I was sent here to complete the deck, and I'm not going home empty-handed. I will take someone's hand before that.
I like the sound of that. May I, or it's a matching set. May I see these 2 you have right now? With my
Box
eyes, of
is
course.
going to go to jab it very a mere inch from Atticus's eye. We're looking for these. And she's gonna flip it around after that and just hold it in front of both of his eyes.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know.
blade across.
When I sent those to you, Vox, I actually don't know if I gave you a great description of them. But what they are
black
is
daggers?
Yeah, black dagger. The blades black too, but they have these. God, what is the word? It's that particular color of black that is
like obsidian.
The void black.
Phanta black.
Yes.
Phanta.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, if looked at for too long, tend to make someone somewhat unsettled.
Yes. And in the base of each, the 2 that you're seeing, I don't know which two you pull out.
It would have been the quickest ones that she carries, which
Mhm.
is probably death always right
Yeah.
at her side. And I would say the tongue, because that was the last one that
Cool.
she used.
Can I make an Arcana check on this?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and make me an Arcana
You
check.
Arcana.
You sure can.
Oh boy.
Peren ever in the mode for shopping for knives for Vox is also going to take a look.
13 on that Arcana.
Okay, cool. You also can make an Arcana check on them, Perrin. On a 13, Atticus, these are these. You can feel the pull of these daggers to other ones hidden on Vox's person. You don't see where those are. But a lot of times with arcane things, there's like when things are meant to be a set, you can feel how they've bonded to the rest of their... so you do feel that energy. I think the only other thing on a 13 is if you're looking at the death and then the tongue, you see in the black of the hilt, there are just these little etchings. One is a skull and another just a long severed tongue etched into the hilt of each one.
That's,
Dirty 20 for Peren.
That's some beautiful craftsmanship right there.
Oh, it is. And I can't wait to see it all together.
On a dirty 20, Perrin, you're going to get the same thing. And then in addition, as you feel, the tether that these tools have to their siblings, you're going to look around the room because although they've been separated for some time, you can feel that same... There is a pull similar to those daggers in here, in this space. And anyone that wants to, like the Kenku are fully, like they're not really even paying attention to anyone now. They're so engrossed in their own levels of trade that they're kind of just scurrying around you to anytime if you happen to be in their path. But anyone that wants to can make a perception check in this space to see what these.
Yeah, I think Peren is going to go looking.
14.
11.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I got higher than that.
Okay, cool.
Dirty 20.
Okay. 11 and 12, I think, because Nick's got a 14, right? And then 11 and 12 are the other. Atticus and Vox, you kind of start to search around the room to look for any... There's a lot of stuff in here. And also, you, like, the system of trade that they're engaged in, you can see is, like, immediately these Kenku, anytime that they're offered something, like, their attention gets refocused on the new thing that's bright and shiny, and so the speed with which they are trading things is kind of numbing. Like, one will be on its way to, like, return a trade, perhaps that it was asked for this thing from this Kenku, and they're just communicating, like, with this series of kind of clicks and clacks, and mostly body language. But they'll get, like, their path will get intersected by a different Kenku, and they'll see the thing that Kenku's holding and then make another trade on top. So there's, like, all these levels of trades going on at the same time. You don't really see anything of terrible value. Here and there's maybe a gold piece, or like a small shard of some precious stone or mineral, but nothing that's really all that worth it. Because I'm going to say that On a 14, I think because you would be looking for something particular, over in the corner, behind one of the tables, that black would catch your eye because the only thing in a sack of small weapons and knickknacks that is not shiny, you would see the hilt of that matches the daggers that Box carries. Peren, you're going to see the same thing. In addition to that, the only other thing that you see in here that you think is worth anything is there is a bow over in the far corner. Just, you see it has these slots, like almost like maybe it's missing some ornaments or jewels or whatever, but it has these round circular slots that are almost like a half sphere. So like an orb could be placed into it, but is missing all of them. It's just simple dark wood, finely carved hand grip, really well made bow. But it does catch your eye.
Nyx, seeing the hilt, is gonna dart over to it and pull it out.
Okay, you go to reach for it, and one of the Kenkus sees that you're reaching for it and is going to try and get in front of you and like slap and then start looking around to see like what you might have on you.
A knife blade instantly goes up underneath like the little soft part of its beak. Hands to yourself. Feathers to yourself, I should say.
Peren's gonna sidle up next to Nyx with his palm down on the table and something under it, and he's gonna gesture at the bow and the knife and look back and forth, make eye contact with the Kenku, and he's gonna reveal one of the two remaining moths that he had previously given to a Kenku, and they lost their goddamn mind.
You don't have to make a persuasion check for this. You reveal the moth. You reveal the moth to that little Kenku. Every Kenku in the room stops what it's doing. They all come like immediately over to where you are all at. So there's about a dozen of them all just kind of clustered together underfoot with both you, Peren, and I mean that like they're smaller, right? They're just a little bit smaller than Bert. And as they are clustered around looking at it, they all just kind of go quiet. Without taking its eyes off of the little blue butterfly that is there. The Kenku is going to just sort of reach for the dagger, walk over, pick up the bow, still looking at the butterfly, come back, place both those things on the table, and see one of the other Kenku shuffles off and goes and gets a book, comes back, opens up the book, flips to the end, where there are a multitude of different little pinned butterflies in there, and is going to take the blue one that you've offered, Peren, very gently and pin it in the back of this book.
All right, so these are ours now.
The bow is yours. This blade, and Nyx is gonna reach out to try and take it off the table.
Yep.
Is Vox. Found one.
I want to say that Box is right next to you, but I think Box being very sticky fingers even now, has been over at different booths just picking up random materials and shoving them in her sopping wet bag that is definitely leaking almost viscera at this point,
Okay.
and shoving them in there. She's got the attention span of a 5-year-old. She came in here looking for something and did not find it as I rolled, and is just
Just grabbing stuff.
looting them.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and just make me a luck check to see if you get anything that's even moderately useful. So just roll a d20.
That was a 19.
Okay. Yeah. I will say, you're gonna find a small hand crossbow and about a dozen bolts. You shuffle that in there. You also shuffle about 10 gold pieces, a couple small crystals that are maybe worth a gold piece each. And one more. I don't know if Fox is looking over to see the interaction that's going on now, but you put another small book in there too that is similar to the one that the Kenku have out on the table over by where the trade is happening.
Peren's gonna gesture at the Kenku with the book, and he's just gonna ask to kind of see the book.
Kenku looks to you. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
I guess you do speak bird.
28. They're just very observant, you know. I just want to take a little. Peren like holds his hands up like this, like let me see it, but I'm not touching it.
It is going to reveal the book to you. You think? I mean, on a 28, it hands you like you're welcome to touch the book. Like it holds it up to you if you want to fully.
Yeah, Peren just kind of flips through it for a second.
Cool. Give me an investigation check.
It keeps remuting for you right when you
22,
open your mouth to
sorry.
talk. There you
Okay,
go.
cool.
My foot
22.
switched. I wasn't holding it down all the way.
I wasn't looking to see that you'd said something. 22. It's evident fairly quickly as you are flipping through this, Peren, that this is a journal. There's a lot of just day-to-day, but it becomes evident very quickly that this is the journal of a wizard. You see a lot of arcane scrawlings in here, components written out for spells, verbal components, somatic, and physical components. You also find in the front of this book, you find the name, just kind of scrawled on the back of the cover in the front. It's a little hard to make out, a little red. It's kind of just written haste. A lot of this is in almost like chickens, like done so furiously. It looks like it was done by someone who just is constantly churning through so many ideas that they can't quite write fast enough to get them all down. But in the front, the name is written Erebus Petrichor. There is...
Amos, do you recognize that name? Fuck.
Flora is going to step over next to you, Peren. Who's Amos?
Doesn't matter. I guess she is gone. You know, it's how it always goes. I keep getting surprised by it, but everybody goes. Are we good? We found the knife? How many more of these do you want? 5, 10?
Vox, you would know that now that you have this one, there is one more remaining.
How many? What do you think?
Is Box there now? Because Box was just pillaging tables.
I mean,
I think so.
Nick's called her over.
It's just a single room, yeah,
Okay.
and it's small enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll go up to Fox as well and very proudly present it.
Vox could not contain her excitement seeing another knife. She kind of, even though she loves Nyx, would aggressively snatch it out of her hand and just peer into it, kind of look at it, and then jab it in with a bunch of the other ones that are sort of hidden on her. And Vox is going, she licks her finger and sticks it out, even though this has nothing to do with anything, goes, one. There's one more and then it's done.
We're so close after all this time. You can finally go back.
I can't wait to see what they do. And she will pull it out and look for the signet on it after she says that.
The signet on this one, hold on, let me look this up. The signet on this one, let's see.
While that is happening,
yeah, go ahead and do.
while Peren is
thank you.
deep in thought, he's gonna pull out his book about I'm forgetting the name of it, but the Phoenix thing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna flip through it for a minute and look for anything. Thinking about his weird version of his friend that he's around, he's gonna just kind of look for anything useful.
Got it. Okay, cool. Give me an investigation check.
16.
The Tower of Death. Okay, cool. Vox, this one would be the vulture. I can tell you the effect of it on or I can message it to you so it stays a secret.
Honestly, Vox is very excited to have part of the deck, and she would take a stab at the closest Kenku, whatever the closest non-party member is, to find out what it does because she loves these knives.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me an attack check.
Sorry. Yeah, she would have just pulled it out and just stabbed.
Watch Fox kill alternate cricket.
That is a 14 to hit.
Oh, 14 hits. Go ahead and roll damage if you're using the vulture.
Yeah.
There's no save DC for the vulture's effect. The vulture's effect is that as long as the dagger remains in the whatever the target is, it's going to roll death saving throws with disadvantage.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see.
Christ, why are you killing it?
It? Don't give these things an it. They have no purpose. They're street vermin.
I feel like it is already the lowest qualification in existence there.
If you keep talking, you'll be next.
All right.
And I hit with 7 points of damage.
This little Kenku next to you just goes limp, and you feel its weight hanging from the blade that you've put into it. It's already gone. The other Kenku immediately begin to like scatter in every direction. You see several, even though these things can't fly, just go to like jump out the window and start flapping with their arms. They're hiding like underneath books, in bags, all over the place.
I didn't even get to see what it does. They die so quick. I need to know.
Maybe that's what it does.
I'm going to go for another one, whichever the closest one, if it's in range.
Yeah. You see another one. Oh, you see another one just like kind of shivering like next to a sack. It's pretty close. Go ahead and give me another attack roll.
Yeah, that was a 21.
Okay. I think this thing would for sure be taking the dodge action though, so you'll roll attack with disadvantage.
That was a 12.
A 12 still just barely hits. Yeah, roll damage again.
This time Vox, wanting to know what it does, would have gone for a lesser point of contact. Like,
okay. We'll roll damage the same, but I'll let you see the effect. It won't just automatically kill it.
That was 7.
Cool. As you hear this last breath and its small little lungs rattles.
Fox is staring with pure joy into its eyes, smiling, waiting to see what happens.
Give me... Peren, go ahead and give me... You're right next to Floor. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Oh, I hate this.
I hate this new app I'm using. Uh, 16 plus 4, 20.
Okay. Flora is visibly like trying to hide it, but not afraid. Just like you feel her tense and ready to like bolt, if the need for it comes.
Look, why don't we find something like bigger? You can come stab something bigger. Like, not these little flimsy...
Find the last knife, and we will.
I mean, alright, you're welcome for finding that one. It's buying it, but, you know, whichever.
I hate to say it, but he does have a point, Fox. These ones clearly aren't staying alive long enough.
Just saying, like, I don't even think you needed a fancy knife to kill these ones. I think, like, a sharp fork.
The longer we stay here, the more time we're wasting between finding the last piece.
A little hurt almost when Nick said that to her. And she just quickly pulls out the knife and she says, and just bites her tongue and looks down at the fallen Kenku and is going to rip her hand into the wound and pull out whatever piece of it she can to stick in the bag.
Give me a medicine check.
The 17.
You get its heart.
Peren notices this, and he kind of gets a weird deja vu, and he just kind of like makes a mental note of her tucking away these limbs and body parts.
Yeah. Okay. There's not a lot else in there. Like, you've got the bow that you noticed, Peren. You've got that dagger. The Kenku are actively hiding. Most of them have actually hidden pretty well now. They've kind of disappeared into the space.
Have you had enough yet? Can we get on now?
I think that Vox would turn her back on everyone and she kind of squats down and pulls out all of them and holds them close to her face. And it's just like, where are you? Where is the last one?
Give me an Arcana check.
16?
16? Hard to tell. It doesn't, you feel the energy of these things, and now that the other one has joined, the energy, that resonates off of them is stronger. It's odd, too, because you were told that there was 11, but for some reason it feels... You're looking at 10, it feels complete. But you are still missing one.
She swallows, goes to put them all away, but before putting the last one away, she slashes her own skin. Failure is not something Vox does well.
With which one?
I was looking at that, and I'm just gonna blindly roll a d10.
Okay.
That is 6, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the eclipse.
Okay. What is the...
The eclipse, on a successful hit, the spell darkness is cast in a 15-foot radius from the point of contact.
Yep.
There is no concentration required. Which makes sense. She's being real moody, and
the rest of you would just see this as darkness covers you. Nyx, if you're still near, I mean, this is a 15-foot radius.
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna
not
say
a huge
Nyx.
room.
Nyx is, as soon as they see that, is gonna jump towards Vox, and as the darkness spreads, slap her hand away, and I think probably try, as darkness gets deeper, to find the wound, put their own hand over it, instantly cure wounds. I think they're more groping for Vox in the darkness and feeling down her body to find both of her wrists and holds them and hold her back from doing more. And just, what are you doing? We'll find them. We just need more time. We've already found one. You're doing so well.
Need to finish it. If I don't finish it, he'll be better.
You will. We'll finish it.
Atticus is gonna saddle up next to Peren and Flora, and kind of look at Peren, and then kind of look into the darkness and just go, well, are we, is our temper tantrum over? Are we ready to, continue?
Oh boy, you don't put up with this kind of thing, do you?
Let's just say they're a little bit more messy when it comes to how they approach things. No criticism, but it's just, it can be a liability.
Right. Well, no, I mean, that's not new, I guess. Well, I guess let's get out of here. Parent's gonna look to see if there's any other doors besides where they came through.
Yes, there is. There's one other door on the opposite side.
Parent's gonna gesture towards that one and be like, all right, lead the way, guy.
Flora. Oh, you're talking to Atticus, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I guess low-key I'm trying to trick Atticus into opening the door just because now Peren's curious about what will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Atticus goes to open the door.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a little check back here. Atticus, you go to open the door. As you go to open the door, as you open it, there's no staircase here. No, there is a fairly long hallway that branches off into two directions. And it's that like smooth black stone that a lot of the rooms in here were before you started finding these more unusual rooms in the last couple. They branch in two directions. Give me a perception check, I think.
That's an 18.
Okay. To the right, you feel there's the smell of rain, almost. Muddy earth. There's that electricity, too, from, like, when lightning strikes are happening. There's an almost searing smell. You think that if you go to the right, it'll start to lead you out of the Dreadspire. Towards the left, the air in here in a lot of these rooms, save for the more unusual ones that you've been walking into, like the further that you've gone into the Dreadspire, the more it seems like this labyrinth that's winding in on itself. So the air's become more stale, more dank. It just feels more like this place. It feels like you either have an option right now to go to the right and begin to find an egress from the Dreadspire, or move to the left and find the heart of it.
Yeah, Atticus wants to leave. They got what they came for, but they know they need to continue on.
In this moment, give me one. You never got to do oh no, you did do an Arcana check on those daggers. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I do an insight check on myself and maybe on the entity within?
Yes. Yep. Go for it.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
On a dirty 20, usually you can look into yourself and sense the will of your god. Or at least that's how the Phoenix family considers it. You can sense it. You have the main thing that you were sent there for. It's strange, though, because you also feel that impulse to carry out the other task, but it almost seems side by side with, like, you you feel an impulsive need to carry out that task. It doesn't feel... You're not sure why you feel it. You weren't asked to by the False Phoenix. There was no request for this thing, no meeting arrangement for after. You just feel that it's something that very much needs to be accomplished. But you also, not without consequence, but you feel like you could deny that.
Mm. Yeah. Atticus is going to turn to the group and
you got another one of those things you're looking for in here, Vox? A deal's a deal. I gotta make sure you get it before we go.
Vox grins, all teeth, and just very creepily smiles and nods her head.
Is darkness still in effect? Are you still in darkness?
It doesn't center it on Vox. It centers it on the space where it was cast.
Oh, I didn't know you moved.
I think we're past it because we followed to the door, or at least non-verbally. Next is gonna look at Atticus and happy to hear there is some honor in the House of Phoenix after all.
What makes you think there's not?
Well, stories mostly.
Well, your stories are wrong.
he's going to walk to the left.
Okay. As you all head to the left, Peren, I think,
Well, I was just gonna say, depending on what's the order as we go through? I'm gonna be a little pedantic about this because I have an evil party, so I'm gonna at times ask for extra pedantry on what's happening.
Well, it sounds like Atticus has already established that he's headed down that hallway first.
I'm gonna wave Peren up to me and like,
come on, doorman.
Flora,
I think Vox and Nyx would have been in the back.
Okay. Flora will take the middle.
Vox was not in great shape. She's not fully sane, and she would just be clinging on to Nyx.
Nyx still has one hand like clamped almost to like stop blood flow, even though they've been like casting cure wounds over the spot where she cut herself. But also kind of like half dragging and half supporting, and they're not letting her go.
Just as we go, like a smidge more than we usually do, let's like preemptively position ourselves, just because, like, on the off chance that were I to try to escape or something like that. I don't really want to ask a bunch of questions right before I explain what my plan is.
And for rubber ducky.
I like that.
What I was just about to do was close the door on Atticus because I thought darkness was still up, and then I was going to reopen the door and go into a different room and just leave.
So here's what until you all tell me that the order's changing, Peren, if you're like following at it when he beckons you up, then I'm just, it's gonna stay the same. So it'll be you and Atticus at the front, Flora in the middle, Vox and Nyx bringing up the rear.
Cool. I'm cool with that.
Cool.
Yeah. As we're walking, Atticus is gonna look at Peren and say,
what got you caught in this situation?
Oh, yeah, no, I got mind controlled by a wizard who like had me like running errands for the whole deal. But he wanted me to come here to like kill another wizard, I think. I don't know. I was really mad at that wizard and I wanted to kill him, but now I'm confused about whether I really wanted that. And then I don't remember how I got here, but I felt like I had to go. You know, you just sometimes feel like you have to do something and you're like, you're not my dad, and then you go and do it.
I love my dad, so I don't get that feeling, but I mean, I do understand the doing things because you have to, or you're beckoned to do so, but um, I'll let you know this. After what we just saw in there, you don't have to worry about anything from me. As long as you do your job, I'll do mine.
Oh, wait, my job is opening doors and like walking around and stuff?
I mean, supposedly, I mean, if you made it this far in this hellhole, then obviously you know how to fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, usually I try to fight against things that are threats rather than like children mining and birds trading buttons. But, yeah.
Well, you say that until there's about 50 miners on you.
Well, I mean, I feel I feel like you called them over to talk to them.
We're all adults here. We're all adults. We're all adults. Oh my god.
Atticus, guys, I'm overwhelmed. They're surrounding me.
Miners.
It's
MINERS.
coal miners. Let me elaborate on that.
Right.
Well, it's
Yeah.
sometimes you have to get the upper hand.
Sure. Yeah. No, it seems like the upper hand's hard for you to find. And Peren distinctly looks up at his height. Do you want to know a real scary thing to kill? A really horrible thing that's out there?
Go on.
There's this thing inside of doors, and it hunts people down, and then it eats them, and it just murders them. People who accidentally walk through the wrong door. It's the only way to get to it. Now, if you were to kill that, ooh, that'd be tough. That would be a tough move. But, I don't know. That seems pretty hard.
You talk to me like you're gonna goad me into chasing some phantom in the dark. I don't.
Oh, no, I appreciate it if you do.
Sure.
As you're finishing up this conversation, you reach the end of the hallway. You're at the next door.
Peren opens it.
Okay.
He stands there like a doorman holding it.
Make me an Arcana check.
I rolled a 2. I think that's a +3. Yeah, 5 total.
Cool. It feels like you cut out, like as you were on your way into you almost feel a shifting. Like a lot of passageways shuffling back and forth. Feels like whatever's past this door is truly going to be the heart of this place. Which is certainly not somewhere that you've been before.
Wait, hold on. Don't go through there yet. Peren is gonna kind of adjust his pack and tuck that bow further in, and he's gonna assemble Ornament of Rights.
Okay.
And I think kind of visibly, the other versions of all these characters have seen this happen, but his demeanor changes. Like, he starts moving without needing to look at what he's doing as he assembles this weapon and kind of does an extra amount of care. He's checking all the links in the chain real quick, and he's kind of stretching as he moves. He's tightening some buckles on his pouches.
What's wrong, doorman? Do you know this room? Are we heading into trouble?
I don't know, but certainly more trouble than what I've seen. So, okay, so again, I've been here before, but when I've been here before, there's just shit trying to kill you. I don't know why you guys are calling it a hellhole, because it seems like mostly like a fucking farmer's market right now. But in there feels not great.
Nyx is going to look towards Vox and then step off to the side and into the shadows, and if there are any. If not, I'm going to, I don't know, blow out some torches or something, but would like to stealth.
Okay,
or
cool.
at least call the shadows in to themselves, do their usual little weaving.
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
What is the lighting, by the way?
It's not full. We'll call it dim in this hallway.
Okay.
It's the same way that it is everywhere in the it's just this ambient lighting that, unless you're specifically in a room that has torches, it's hard to tell where the source of light is coming from.
Perfect. 25.
Okay. 25's good. You can see Flora too begins to speak under her breath, pulls down with a hand, and this shimmering Peren, you would recognize it like an almost fey light. This opalescent veil descends on her head and then fades away. She takes a deep breath and opens her eyes and nods at you.
All right, so when we get in here, you two sneaky ones, if you want to go around on opposite wings, seems like your deal. The three of us will hold down the middle.
Yeah, Box rolled a 22 on her stealth, seeing Nyx give her that look and step into the shadows, just like clockwork, is game face.
Okay.
Into the other side.
Okay.
Peren steps through.
You step through the door. As you step into this space, just like any of the other more ordinary rooms that you've entered into in the Dreadspire, that smooth black floor, smooth walls, simple ceiling, there's no sense of grandeur in the aesthetics of this room, really. It looks like just another common room of the tower. But as each of you steps into this space, your footsteps echo in a way that doesn't make sense for the size of the room. It feels cavernous and immense. And the light begins to... It's not even as if the light is going out, it's as if there's more space for the light to fill than there actually is. So it seems to almost extend out beyond the borders of the room and just be washed out in the center of the room. In a simple stone chair. Because it's the only thing in the room, you could think of it maybe like a throne. It's strange that there's no table in front of it or anything like that, but it is fairly humble, low-backed, and it just almost seems to be carved as part of the floor. There is a figure in a black cloak, humanoid at least in shape, sitting. Their face is covered by a hood that shrouds them in a darkness. The only thing that you can see underneath that hood is the glint of teeth. White. Their mouth is open a little bit. Everything surrounding it is just void and black. And the figure looks up a little bit as all of you enter the room. Vox and Nyx, you're skirting to the side to stay in the shadows. So it's going to look at you, Atticus and Peren, being right there in the front.
Been a long time since anyone came here.
Hi.
What brings you to the heart of this place, traveler?
You know, I've been trying to remember that, but I think that I lost something. And Perrin kind of like feels at his shoulder and can't quite place what he's feeling.
Lost something. Most unfortunate. I've been lost myself before. Awfully big tower. A lot of rooms.
Sorry, what'd you say your name was? My name's Perrin. Hi. Hello.
Don't usually give out my name like that, but you can call me the architect.
Okay.
Tell me, friend, do you think you'd mind too terribly opening that door for me again?
For you again? What do you mean? Again?
Well, you opened it up to come in here. I'm just wondering if you can open it again to get out.
For us to leave, or because you want to?
Oh, I'd very much like to leave. I can smell your friends closing in on me from either side, and well, I think I've been in this room long enough.
Oh. Wait. Why are you trapped here?
I've been here since I built this place. They didn't see fit to let me use this tool the way I wanted to, so here I am, trapped me in my own box.
I do have a certain way with doors. I think I probably could get you out. What's in it for me?
That's good news. Well, what is it you're looking for?
I don't remember. Which isn't a surprisingly new feeling. That's been pretty common for 200 years or so. But I'm pretty sure it mattered to me. Wait, no, I came from a different version of this. I want to go back where I was.
Oh, back where you were. Looks like it's that time already.
What do you mean?
Closer than you think.
What?
You know what that thing you carry is, right?
It's hard to tell without seeing eyes but somehow you can tell that the figure is looking directly at the Ornament of Rights.
It's a birthright. It's a tool. It's a weapon.
It's a lot more than that, friend. Tell me, do your friends know what they're carrying? The elf with the scars, and the one that's bleeding all over my floor.
Small point of order, which Q just pointed out. I have no incense now for Ornament of Rights. I'm assuming my incense pocket is probably empty. Okay. Peren is going to turn to Atticus, and he's very softly, he's going to say, "We are in a significant amount of danger. If you notice that one of your two friends up there is in trouble, you need to eat this." And Peren hands him something in a closed fist.
Atticus just kind of shrugs and puts it in his pocket. Doesn't look at it.
If either of those two are in danger, you gotta eat it. And Peren turns back towards the figure. So wait, what is this? What is it? What's so important? And he's gonna start kind of twirling it around. He releases a little bit of the length of the chain, so he's kind of doing some flourishes.
Friend, I wouldn't recommend that.
What, spinning things around?
Ceilings are awfully low in here. You wouldn't want to ruin the finish.
See, the thing that I know, and I don't know a lot right now, my brain's feeling a little foggy, but there's two people who know what this weapon is. There's the people who taught me to use it, and there's the people I'm supposed to use it on. Which one are you exactly?
You see the figure stands up from their chair. Towering far taller than they appeared to be while sitting down. Atticus even would be looking down on you as the little light that shines from unknown places in this room casts their shadow long. All of you hear this figure's voice as if they were speaking directly into your ear, standing right next to you.
You're all my guests here. I built this place, and I would very much appreciate it if you would let me out.
Well, I'd love to do that. Unfortunately, this little group has told me that I have to help them or they're gonna skin me.
You want to find a fire hammer, a bunch of knives. You've already got them all.
And this next one, you hear like on your, as if they are coming around to the other side of your ear.
Or didn't you check your pockets before you came in here?
Nyx jumps and like whirls to try and face the noise in the darkness, but they will pat themselves down.
Yeah, go ahead and give me we'll call it it can be an investigation check or an insight check.
Mm-hmm. They're both the same. That is a nat 20.
Do you want it to be investigation or do you want it to be insight?
Insight.
Something. You're connected to the Lunestone, which Vox has essentially made a part of themselves, grafting it into their chest. But something else pulls you too. There's something, some thread, some impulse. As the figure whispers into your ear, instinctively, your hand goes down. A small, hidden pocket at your side. And you feel it up against your leg. It's the 11th piece of the tarot. And when you touch it, the impulse that you have to sink it into Vox's flesh is overwhelming. And what does Nyx do?
I mean, I want to ask how overwhelming the impulse is, but I think I already know the answer to that.
It is almost all you can think about.
Yeah.
It is all hunger and drive.
I think almost at the same time as they're like whirling around trying to track the noise, like feeling vulnerable, feeling like something is hunting them and stalking up on them when usually the roles are reversed. With that same kind of anxious turning and anxious movements, they are going to Can I see Vox?
Roll me, Vox's was a 22 or a 23 on stealth?
I believe a 22.
Okay. Since you're actively looking instead of using pass, I'll let you make a perception check in this moment.
I don't know if it affects like things like perception, but I texted Q this and I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but I also cast Warding Bond on Vox.
Okay.
So we are being close to each other. We are magically linked. And any damage that she sustains will also affect me, which I think is very poetic. And but I don't know if that would help with like location, because I think with Vox being far away, if I can see her, Nyx would whirl around and try and throw the dagger at her.
Okay. I think because of the warding bond, you can go ahead and you can make me a perception check with advantage to sense out that you're but you are trying to hit
nat 1 on that one. Okay, that's better.
Is this gonna break Nyx out of stealth?
Is that better?
Wow, what do you mean better? Do we see her through stealth now?
It's 18.
It would break Nyx out, but on an 18 you don't. I think you can if you I guess here's how it works when you can't see somebody, because it's similar to invisibility. If you know because of warding bond like where Vox is, you can attack. It's just with disadvantage. So I guess it's really instead of giving you advantage on your, it gives disadvantage on the attack, but because you're right next to each other with warding bond, you just make the attack with disadvantage.
I think that we came on opposite sides of the room, the same way that we would have gone for Grandpa. So I'm not right next to her.
Oh, that's true. But what is on warding bond though? How close do you have to be?
60 feet.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I could be.
I think in general, so you can throw it, but you're going to have disadvantage on the attack.
And also, Vox did not even hear that you have this yet.
Okay, so the distance.
Could just say, Vox, come to me.
Yeah, the opposite side of the room was the only reason why I was trying to throw it. But if I can't see her and know where she is, then Nyx is just gonna turn and walk straight towards Nyx or towards Vox. And
I think leaving that you are gonna leave your stealth in this space.
Yes.
There's none of so you see Nyx leave their stealth like the rest of you in the room. Flora takes a sharp breath in that you hear, Peren. The figure is kind of still standing in front of the seat.
Peren's gonna put one hand out in front of Flora and be just kind of like a wait signal.
Yeah.
Atticus is gonna turn to both of them and he's like,
are they really of our concern? Can't we just open the door and let them go?
Nyx walks, not seeing anybody else, walks straight up to Vox.
Well, Vox
reaches out for them, hand against her cheek, lifts her head up, sinks the blade in underneath
Vox
the rib
would still
cage.
Be in stealth though, and you rolled an 18 and Vox has a 22.
So you would have to say something to get.
Oh, okay.
As much as I have the moment, you would have to say something to Vox to get
Vox is
them
still
to come out to
creeping, thinking that this is the same plan that we had with Grandpa. She is going just quietly skirting along the room behind this figure. You would have to walk across the room and then over, and by losing that across the room, Vox would already be further ahead.
I think doing that in this, I mean, you're basically you're gonna have to role play this out, but you're gonna try and talk Vox out of hiding.
Exactly. Walking over, I found it. We can go home.
You found it?
I found it.
It's done. It's here.
He gave it to me. Where are you? I can't find you.
And Vox would come out to that.
Here, let me give it to you and complete it.
Can I set up one small thing while you finish this? As Peren sees both of them come out of stealth, he's gonna tap Atticus and be like, "That's it. They're in trouble. Eat the thing."
And Vox is just walking towards Nyx, and just with glee and almost tears of joy to have a set complete.
Yeah, Atticus is gonna look at
I'll roll persuasion if you want.
Yeah. Atticus would even just be like, he's just gonna look at Peren and be like, what makes you think
I didn't want them to be in a situation like this?
Hey man, it's up to you. If you think they're gonna get you in or out of here alive. Persuasion's 28. Like, you do whatever you want to do. I just figured you were safer as Groot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with what Atticus knows, this would be a perfect thing for him.
Yeah, Vox just fully like open to embrace Nyx.
Yeah.
And you could roll your attack on her.
Make that attack roll. I think you're doing.
Am I adding anything to this?
You're not adding, like, you are adding stuff. You're.
Do you want me to just do a flat rogue. D20?
Well, you're an assassin class rogue, right?
Yes.
So you're attacking a surprise character who's not gone yet in initiative, which means you're getting a critical hit and advantage and sneak attack.
Drop my D20. Okay. That's an 18 on the hit, plus whatever's being added.
18 does hit.
Vox does have resistance to all damage through warding bond.
Yeah.
And I will also take that damage. And what else would you like me to roll?
Roll the damage as critical. So you're doubling your sneak attack. You're doubling the D4 from the dagger, and then I will tell you.
Okay, so it's a D4 for the dagger. That was my question. Perfect. Yep. Sweet. Okay, and I do it twice. Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Is that with? Is that
I just did the D4
with your full sneak attack?
My full sneak attack, yes. And then
is that with the resistance though? All damage?
No, I don't know how that is subtracted.
So if you have warding bond on it, it'll be cut in half to 11, but then you'll both take that damage. So you'll both take 11 damage. In the moment, though,
I think that with Vox being stabbed by Nyx, though, Vox would go wide-eyed and look at Nyx. You have it. And just like bleeding. What does it do?
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
What is the urge feeling like?
Oh, it's gone now.
Gone? Okay.
It had but one purpose. You feel it melt away.
Nyx is
16.
Staring down at their own hands, like they start shaking instantly. Like,
I think that Vox would honestly, while she's mad at Nyx, she needs to know what it does, and she would pull Nyx even closer to put it in deeper into her, wherever she stabbed her, into her own chest, and just be smiling while blood is coming down.
On that wisdom save, you pulling closer on the knife. Most of the time, Vox, your interactions were with Balak. Occasionally, it's a woman that you saw him pay. it was hard to tell sometimes if it was like reverence or Balak gave this woman a wide berth, but Dinah Esperoth, the other person that lived in Moorhold, occasionally she would come and teach you things. And there was one time that she came to your tower. Listen, Vox, I know you've been learning a lot about the blade, and tell me, how much has Balak taught you of magic, the power of suggestion?
I've only seen what he does to others. He uses me more as a weapon, which is so much fun to see them all bleed.
Tell me, has he ever used suggestion on you?
I don't know. No.
Turn around. Lock yourself in the closet.
You have an overwhelming, irresistible urge to walk into the closet of your room and lock yourself in.
Yeah. I don't even bite it. Box wants to be the perfect person for them, whatever they want to create.
I think 8 hours later, when Balak came to your room and found you in the closet, you were a little disoriented, but you spent that time doing exactly what you were told to do. And in this same moment, that same feeling washes over you. A wisdom save of 16, which is a failure. A suggestion spell is cast on you. But not by Nyx. The blade has already been given its suggestion. And you feel in your head the overwhelming urge.
Blood for blood, Vox.
Yeah, without even thinking, just hearing blood for blood, Vox would pull out Death, her, what she knows is her deadliest weapon.
What am I doing? Why did I do that?
Think she
Vox!
would just slash across Nyx's healing throat wound already and try to reopen it. And would that be a surprise?
Yeah, make an attack roll, and it definitely would. In this case, I think you are both surprised, just because of the specifics of the spellcraft at work.
Atticus, it is not going to let any of us leave here alive.
Remember you making that comment when we first met?
The 23 to hit, Nyx.
Yep, that hits.
Roll that damage.
On the bright side, it wasn't a critical hit with Death.
No, it is because Nyx is surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is a critical hit on Nyx.
Does that spell go both ways? Do you both share this damage again?
No, I don't take
I don't
it.
think
just
so.
Nyx does.
Yeah, just Nyx.
If I take damage, Nyx takes it. But if Nyx takes damage, I don't take it. Okay, rolling the damage, and it's surprise, so it's doubled.
It's you just roll twice the amount of dice
Okay.
that you usually would. So roll twice, double the dice for your sneak attack, and then double the d4 as well. Peren, in fact, in all of your ears, as this whole thing is going down and you are watching, you hear again in a whisper,
Oh, don't worry. You'll all make it out of here. I'm counting on it.
That was 27 damage to Nyx.
They have 1 health point left.
in addition to that,
But
with the Death Dagger, you're going to have to make a Constitution save right now. And it is like 27 damage, so halved is 13. You are making a DC 13 Constitution save. And it is the highest of stakes.
I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. Goodness.
That is what Nyx would have, or Fox would have pulled
yeah,
out.
absolutely. I think Nyx like surprised and choking on just sucking in on their own air and blood. Like sags forward, one hand up, and like blood gushing out between their fingers.
Yeah.
Does she see? Oh.
They're gonna stumble forward like a hand onto Fox's shoulder to like catch themselves.
Fox is
and the other hand drops almost like sagging onto Fox's chest onto the runestone.
Fox is grabbing Nyx's face and is just tears bubbling down.
Con save. That's a 17. What am I getting? What am I trying for? I
You
forgot
it.
You live. You'd live. You're at 1 hit point. But you are.
And Fox is just
actively
you are
bleeding
alive.
out.
staring down and trying to cover Nyx's throat, and is like, I love you. I don't know. You
They're
stabbed me.
trying to talk but can't because
Atticus.
their windpipe is severed.
Atticus, it's playing with us.
Atticus, Peren says that, but you hear in your other ear.
No better time than now, friend. If you're gonna get out of here with those knives.
Yeah, Atticus kind of looks at Peren saying that and disregards it, and he's gonna charge in and just immediately attack Vox. He's just gonna swing on Vox.
Oh,
Make an attack roll. And I think, here's what I am going to say in this moment. You can make it so that they're flanked because Nyx is in front of them, so you can take advantage on the attack, because if you run up from behind them, they're flanked by Nyx, who they are currently sort of engaged in combat with. Albeit emotional, unwanted combat.
I mean, it doesn't matter because I rolled a natural 20.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Look, okay.
Fox, while this is happening, sets Nick down and just whispers, I'm sorry.
I think
Jesus Christ.
bloodied hands on Vox's face. They see Atticus coming out of the corner of their eye, and if I can,
well, here's the thing.
it's going to hit me anyways.
Yeah, because
they
roll another
last-ditch effort. They would like to step in front.
God, in this moment, because this is important, I will let the two of you, we'll just make this a roll off between Atticus and Nyx to just make an initiative roll to see who gets to do what first.
Okay.
Since you don't have specifically an ability, Nyx, that would let you.
I rolled 19 on initiative.
13 on mine, so.
Nyx, you can't. But make me a Constitution save too against that 27. So another 13 DC 13 concentration save for. Is Warding Bond a concentration spell?
I think it is.
I think it is.
Sorry,
too.
I accidentally exited it out. Let me pull it up again.
No, it's okay. I think it is. So make a Constitution save for that.
Okay.
To see if that is also still in effect.
At 20.
It is absolutely still up. What's that?
Cool.
Yeah, what's the damage?
I rolled 42 damage.
Oh. Okay.
That would be 42 halved because of the warding bond to 21, but Nyx, you're also going to take that 21.
Yeah, they're again rolling death saves and or just dead. I don't.
Peren, you're seeing all this happen. You feel Flora has reached out and is just like is her hand is digging into your arm. And you can feel she's just kind of pulling back towards the door.
I'm going to use my extra attack.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, this one's with advantage too.
I want to spice it up.
The answer is always yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Would Atticus notice that a spell was in play?
Make me an Arcana check or a Perception, either one.
Okay. That would be 17 on Arcana.
You're familiar with the spell.
Okay.
You feel the link
All
between
right.
them.
It's also ended now because Nyx is down to 0.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you feel as Nyx drops, the spell fades.
Atticus is gonna take another swing and be like,
Look, that's 2 for 1. I always dislike both of you.
and he's gonna swing again.
Always time for a two-liner.
Guess what I rolled on advantage again?
Not 20.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
Murder.
Sorry. It was a 15 and then another 20.
Okay.
After you hit me the first time, Elijah, as a bonus action, could I have taken my second win? Or tried to dash or disengage from that?
Is second wind a bonus action or a reaction? Because you can do it if it's a reaction, but unfortunately you're
my
surprised.
reaction is an opportunity attack.
That's only if Atticus were to leave your threatened area. Unfortunately, because Atticus is surprise attacking you too, that extra attack that Atticus gets is just part of his attack action. So there's no it would have to be some kind of a reaction that you'd have to do anything.
Heard.
I will say before Atticus rolls the damage for this, do we want to take our break really quick?
No,
Yeah,
roll the damage.
I rolled it already.
I was going to say, might as well just
What's
kill
the
everybody
damage?
first.
What's the damage?
I just have a couple things I want to try to do if I can.
Yeah,
No.
I rolled 31 damage, and I'm gonna pull that 15 fire damage I had from last turn-in, or from last session, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be
okay.
31 damage plus 15 fire damage.
I don't get to do anything I wanted to do.
We're going to cut from this. Fauna is gone. She went down the path. Atticus, Nyx, and Vox, you are all standing there. Notori is nearby. The monk twins that she brought with her. Cletus also gone, having gone with Fauna. And the cat as well. So it's just the 5 of you waiting there near the falls where Fauna walked into and then disappeared.
Where do you
So sorry. Where do you think they all went? Where do you think they were going? How long are they going to be?
In this moment, all of you make me a wisdom saving throw.
With old character
wasn't any
sheet?
better.
Yeah, with old character
Normal
sheets.
characters.
Yeah, if you've
Okay,
got 'em
I need
there.
to pull that up. Because I have no character sheet.
9.
Okay.
That is going to be a 13.
16.
Okay. That is 13. Nyx, you're going to take the full 20 points of psychic damage. Atticus and Vox, you are just going to take it halved to 10 as this just searing cut burns through your consciousness.
Again, on old character sheet or my current HP?
On old character sheet.
Okay.
Not dark.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, no,
When
no
we were
automatic
not
death
Just
saves.
really laying it on.
Holy
But
shit,
in
I'd
this
be
moment-
dead.
Nyx, a 9, you fail the wisdom saving throw. This you feel nothing but the pain of this ripping through you, and the fact that you can feel something. It's just something that feels so deeply off. Atticus and Vox, you succeeded through the pain of that sear that flashes through your mind. You see a series of images sped up so fast, each of them with deep emotional experiences that while they don't sink into you, they certainly don't become a part of you. You have these fleeting moments of experiencing some of these things. And as those things pass through you, in that moment, the feeling of them is gone. Nothing lingers, nothing plants. It's like whatever is happening in the work that Fauna did has sealed this off, at least for the moment. So it is not transforming you in any way. It is not, but you are seeing snippets of what your life would be like if it were not for Peren and whoever Peren's father is. I think in particular too, like a lot of the moments from like the last, like there's to what's happening right now, like in the like immediate on the other side, what is happening right now, you get a lot of those images, especially for you, Vox. You feel, I mean, you look over to Nyx and you feel that deep connection, albeit incredibly toxic, but you feel connected to Nyx in a way that you had not before.
Such a weird feeling for this box
Yeah.
to carry. Talk about a conflicted lady.
And then in that moment, it is gone. Notori's going to look over at all of you. You all right?
Nyx audibly like cried out and I think kind of like staggered a little bit and reached out to catch themselves on the cart. And it's just like a hand to their head, but
I just felt an unmovable, unshakable anger for a second.
God, it's hurting my head. What?
Notori and the twins immediately come. Each of them comes to Notori, comes to you, Atticus. Each one of the one twin goes to you, Vox, and the other to you, Nyx. They're going to use Hands of Healing. They have enough key points and enough time. Like they're gonna, all the damage will be undone. Or actually, you know what? I'll roll for it. Hold on one second. Nyx, you are going to be healed for 16 hit points. Let's see. Atticus 13, so you're back to full from that 10, and Vox 12, so you're also back to full.
I feel so empty. So is this what it's like without Peren, without that person Fauna went to go save? Who did I lose? Who did we
Fox
lose?
was just holding her chest where the loonstone used to be embedded, just like almost aggressively rubbing it where the skin is kind of turning red.
Yeah, Atticus is just silent. If anyone's paying attention, you see him like have his fist in a ball, and it just kind of like slowly releasing and kind of coming back. Yeah, he's in his own thoughts.
I would
Atlas.
actually like a bathroom break if we can.
Oh yeah. Let's. Yeah, you know what? Because actually, I think we will. We're just cutting to this for a moment. Let's go do the bathroom break, and then we'll cut back to what's going on.
She's so bad.
Yeah. So we'll be back in like 10 minutes. Okay. And we're back. We're going to cut back right into the Dreadspire. Atticus, what was the damage?
The damage was it was 31 plus 15 fire damage. So 46 total damage.
And that drops. I think actually you already said that, right? That drops Vox.
Yeah.
I'm in death saves.
Okay.
As Peren sees Atticus strike down Vox, Peren casts suggestion on Atticus.
Okay, that's a wisdom saving throw for Atticus.
Oh, you clever minx.
And it's just Vox's body laying on top of Nyx's.
What do I need to roll?
It's a wisdom save. But
Just a wisdom
actually,
save throw.
Both Nyx and Vox, go ahead and make me your first death save.
I haven't done one of these in a minute, and mechanics always fuck me up. Is that just a flat d20 and then I have to get
Just
over
a
an
flat
11?
d20. No, you just have to get a 10 or higher.
Okay.
So a 9 or lower is a failure.
16.
It's a 50-50.
Okay, cool.
Hey, look at
One
us!
success each.
Sean,
Yes. What do I roll?
Wisdom
wisdom
save.
save throw.
Okay. What do I need to beat? Probably doesn't matter.
What
It's
is
a
your
secret.
DC?
It's a 15.
Oh,
Okay. I literally rolled a 16.
Well, then you succeed.
You succeed.
And you just hear Peren say
Nothing
one more
happens.
time, "You should eat the berry. We're all gonna die if we don't."
In this moment, Atticus, you're looking down. You are able to... But I think in the moment, I don't know, Atticus, if you are immediately going down to start gathering the daggers on the corpses in front of you. Peren, you cast suggestion. It fails. You feel Flora pulling back on you, more like slowly backing towards the door, pulling on your arm. Atticus, immediately just stepping out of the shadows of the room right next to you, the figure steps out.
Looks like we're both here for the same thing.
You want out, right?
Yes.
And I opened that door for you. You let me take what I want and leave too.
Take anything you want. In a moment, it's not going to matter.
And Atticus, you see the figure reach down and take one of the daggers out of Vox's hand and drive it right into their chest above the heart.
It's awfully sharp.
Atticus, does a 19 hit?
Yes.
You look down and you see that one of the daggers is in you. You're only going to take 6 points of piercing damage from it.
Looks like It's just a flesh wound, friend. Tell me, how do you feel?
Atticus, make me an Arcana check.
A 12 on Arcana.
On a 12, something is happening. You feel it's not the wound is that there's no poison. Something, the way that these daggers, the Black Tarot, the way that these things have some sort of a tether, you feel something pulling on you, and you feel yourself opening up in a way, almost like layered, not just your armor, but things in you are like being peeled back. The
foul spirit being bored. That's what I thought.
Surprise!
Who was Atticus all along?
Box and Nyx, each of you make me another death saving throw.
18.
9.
Okay, another success and another failure.
Can I cast suggestion again?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's tough because we're not out of initiative order, but yeah, if you want to... I think
I'm
just to
trying to time it with a death saving throw so that it's roughly
in
order.
I think to be fair to Atticus, you get, before anything else happens, you get another interaction here. But I mean, definitely taking you're experiencing something very strange now that this dagger is in you. And this stranger is like right up, is kind of...
Is this dagger like in me?
Attention. Yeah.
Like he's okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll pull the dagger out first and kind of like look at this.
Which dagger was it? Was it the one that was in Vox's hand, the one that she used last? Or can you roll to see which dagger he was stabbed with?
I'll roll to see which one he grabbed.
Okay. Because then I'll tell you exactly what it does, because there are consequences.
That was that's right. There was a 7.
7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7 is still the eclipse.
Oh, okay. So immediately...
Which is good for you.
Immediately, this entire... Peren, do you have to see your target to cast suggestion?
Yes.
You can't see them. They're in 15 feet of magical darkness. Everything is obscured right now.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I lied. I might have lied. Hold on. The fool is 1. The tongue is 2. The scorpion is 3. The serpent is 4. The lion is 5. The hang. Nope. I was right. Fuck.
Okay.
I really wanted to be wrong in my counting.
So
yeah,
Atticus, enveloped by darkness.
See that he would. Is darkness considered like a vapor or gas or fog?
Not magical darkness. No, it's just the absence of all light.
Okay. Yeah, Atticus. Yeah, I think Atticus would kind of like snarl a little bit and be like,
I'll offer you help, and this is how you repay me. I'll get you out of here.
Atticus, you feel another sting in your back. Box, tell me what dagger is 8?
8 is going to be the tower. On a successful hit, purple lightning arcs from the hilt of the blade, connecting to each piece of the Black Tarot within 100-foot radius. Each dagger will do 1d6 lightning damage to whoever holds or is currently pierced by one.
So Nyx is currently pierced by 1, I believe. And Vox is currently pierced by 1, so that's going to be an automatic death saving throw fail for both of you. So
actually, Nyx is not
it was a
pierced by 1.
slash
Oh, that's
across
right.
the
You're
Slit
throat.
right.
her throat.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the entity, I pulled that one out of her hand. I guess there is still one in Vox.
In you? Okay. And there's now Atticus 1 in you. So Vox, so now you've got 2 successes and a failure for your death saves.
Do the ones that you're holding count?
They have to be in.
I'm not holding them. They're on my person.
Yeah, gotcha.
How dare you?
I just didn't read the wording.
Atticus, you're going to take 3 points of that lightning damage and then just 6 more points of piercing damage as it goes into you. And God, even the lightning, lightning doesn't make a sound and it's obscured by magical darkness. So Peren, you don't even see the flashes of this going on. It is all happening in this darkness. Atticus, you feel that point stab. The voice leans in even closer.
You are gonna get me out of here, friend. I've been counting on it.
Atticus, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
$19.
Okay. On a 19, you're going to get a moment. I'm going to say on that 19, I'm going to let it give you one more Arcana check because now there's something, it's getting a lot more severe. So go ahead and make another Arcana check.
That's a 16 on Arcana.
Okay. Something is deeply wrong. Atticus, as you feel that second point drive in and the figure leans closer, something you feel now is like opening you up in it. You've been pierced before in battle. This feels different. Something is opening up in your core. In the darkness, you hear one more as you hear a knife slide into flesh. Nyx, I think you've had just 1 death saving throw failure, right? You're going to take 1 more as the figure puts one of the daggers into you. Atticus, I think in this moment you would be... I'm not going to dictate how Atticus feels, but the feeling that you have is it's terrifying. I think probably for most of Dark Attis's, for the existence that this character has had, you have always felt powerful and in control, uneven afraid of death, because your God has always been there to resurrect you. In this moment, something is pulling at you. It is not death, but it may perhaps be something worse. And it is not something your God can save you from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Atticus is feeling deeply unsettled, and he kind of smirks and all of it, and yeah.
You're good at what you do. I gotta give you that.
Been
Well,
doing it a long time.
I can't say I respect it, but I see it. And whatever you're gonna do, whatever you drew me into, just fucking get it through. Get it over with.
That's good to hear.
Peren, Fauna grasps your arm. Flora, I keep doing that. We have to go now.
What do you mean? I really want
We
those
have
knives.
to go. No, we have to. And out of the darkness, you see a dagger come flying out. Peren strikes Flora.
Which one?
I rolled a 10. Oh, which is the vulture. It's not death.
The vulture, yeah.
Okay.
The death is in out of Vox's hand. It's in Atticus.
Yeah. Okay. You see that fly out. Fauna looks at you. Open a door. Open a door. You have to open a door. It's not. The dreams don't go like this.
Peren turns towards the door they came through and puts his hand on the handle, and he's gonna look at Flora. Sorry, I rolled a little personal roll there, and I'm interpreting it real
out
quick.
how to interpret it. While you figure out how to interpret that, Peren,
Yeah.
like this happens, the dagger comes out at Flora. There starts to be a noise coming from the darkness.
There it is.
You hear the splintering of bone. You hear cries echo out in voices both similar to Vox and Nyx, to Atticus, and voices not similar.
A little more room to breathe in here.
If you look back at all, Peren, you see beginning to emerge from the darkness, still cloaked now. But you can see the mouth, and the mouth is stretching around. For a moment, looks like Atticus's. In another moment, you see Vox's leering smile. You see what looks to be other limbs and things like that folding themselves into place underneath the cloak. And if you want to in this moment, before you tell you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
17.
There's
Did that?
some kind of spell work going on here. It's not something that you've seen on a 17. You haven't seen it. You certainly haven't seen it before. You're not terribly familiar with it. God, I think on a 17 you've never heard of anything like this before, but you can tell something powerful is going on in this moment. And the figure starts to walk slowly towards you.
Yeah, in that moment when Peren is looking at Flora and he's thinking of Fauna, he remembers the first thing he said to both of them, and he dwells on that for a moment and on the different person he was then, because he promised he would do anything to keep them safe, and he would do anything for them. But in this moment he feels kind of a sureness, the kind of sureness that can only come about when you have failed over and over again to do the one thing you promised. And he kind of smiles and he says, I can't let this thing out, can I?
I don't know if it would. You see tethers begin to stretch between Flora and the figure that is walking towards you. They look down to the dagger. Throws it on the floor. Did you touch the door yet?
Yeah, hand on the handle.
Flora is going to take dagger out, takes your hand in hers, and is going to go to open the door with both of your hands on it. Hers and yours.
Yeah. The latch turns and Peren is just kind of planted there, but I think it cracks open.
From the other side, you hear birdsong. Golden light filters in through a crack of the door. Flora looks at you. This is it. Whatever I'm gonna remember, I remember it here. And Flora is going to try and push the door open.
Yeah, I think...
Does she have to make a contested athletics roll?
No, I think as much as
Okay.
Peren ethically wants to resist her, I don't think he can. So I think he lets himself get pushed out of the way, and he looks at this ominous force in front of him. He scoops and picks up the knife, and he follows through the door.
Okay. As you go to follow through the door, you've got the knife with you. You hear the voice echo out one more time.
It's already started. The Erebus Infinatia. So many in one.
Before Peren walks all the way through, he kind of looks back and looks at this thing, and he's like, You kind of fucked up in the head, huh?
Well, now it depends on which head you're talking about.
Right, I mean, by not answering the question, you kind of answered my question, kind of making my point for me there. Tell you what, do me a favor. Go wherever you want. Eat everything you want. Take over everything. What's it gonna change? Oh no, don't get me wrong. You have cosmic purpose. You're so hungry. You're gonna eat everything. That's the 7th time I've heard that in the last month. Fuck you. Fuck your dumb plans. Fuck your dumb bullshit. Peren slams the door behind him.
The last thing that you hear is you slam the door.
It's closer than you think.
And the door shuts. Peren, you are on the other side of this door. You look around. Give me a perception check.
It's gonna be high. 19 plus 7, 26.
You are on a path in the Evewood. The light filters through the trees. Birds flit here and there. You see a small little cottontail rabbit go scurrying out of a brush across the path, leaving little prints as it does. Flora is looking around. It's just like I dreamed it. It's all here.
This is familiar.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's just make me a perception check. One more perception check in this moment.
That was not as good. 15?
Okay. On a 15, you hear it. Under her breath, she just whispers, "Okay, it's okay. I'm here, sweet one. I'm here, Songbird. Breathe easy. I've got you. We have to follow the path."
You remember what I said? How do you remember that?
I have a lot of dreams, and I don't know why I have them, but it always ends. It ended in this tower here, in this place. But there's this dream I have. I'm little and I'm being held, and somebody whispers that to me, and I remember it like it happened. I dream that one a lot.
It would be nice when you're scared and worried and alone and in danger. It's nice to believe that there's someone who will be there for you, who will keep you safe.
Yeah. Well, it's what I've told myself, because I've always been the one to keep myself safe. But saying it helps. I think we need to follow the path.
Show me where we're going.
Flora is going to start walking down the path. You got a high enough perception check, Peren, that as you start to follow Flora down the path, you know the way. It's familiar. You know where you're headed. And as you start to walk in the direction of your cabin, you look up and you see a small yellow bird hopping from branch to branch on a tree just above you. We're going to cut back to No Blossom Falls, where the three of you are standing in front of the falls, Atticus, Nyx, and Vox. I'm going to give each...
Elijah, take a quick glance at Discord, by the way, also.
Okay, cool. I'm going to give each of you one more wisdom saving. This isn't for... You don't have to worry about damage or anything.
I like
But
getting
each
hurt.
of you make me one more wisdom saving throw.
Tell me why that's my nat 20. So 21. Elijah.
Tell me
Nat 20.
why
Tell me-
that's my nat 1.
Oh, boy.
no. I got an 11.
Okay. Wow.
Such an array here.
Okay. So in this moment, on an Atticus, you're not rolling anything else. I think Nyx, 11 just isn't high enough to make this roll either. Vox, make me an Arcana check with advantage.
Arcana's not my best.
Wait.
But you know what?
Wait. I have that new item that gives me advantage on wisdom saving throws that you gave me. The blossom thing. The
Sure do.
yeah.
I got an 18 on Arcana.
Okay. 18 is pretty good.
Wait, Sean, you're saying if we read our character sheets, there's information on there that...
Okay, first and foremost, I haven't played this version of this character in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It was a brand new
Yeah.
thing that you just got.
Yeah,
last.
And you weren't there for that session, so...
What's the new wisdom save? What I will tell you right now, what you're trying to get is a 13 or higher.
Cool. I got above that. I got a 16 on the advantage.
Cool. You can make me an Arcana check as well.
Still don't know what my bracelet does. Does it have anything to do with this or no?
14 on that.
No, it does not.
Okay, cool.
Okay. 14 on Arcana. I'm going to give you each some similar things, and then Vox, you're going to get a little bit more out of it. The tether that you feel, like those moments of experiencing the lives of an alternate self that's been created in this little pocket rift, you feel what it is like to be pulled into there's what I want. For yourself, for your identity, your soul, even your consciousness, to be pulled into the same space as someone else's. Vox, Atticus, you experience at the same time what is like you get the flood of like the actual selfhood of Vox, of Nyx, of Atticus, and of this incredible... I think there's so much going on here that you don't necessarily, especially on those rolls, get any insight into what it... But you feel the overwhelming nature of all of a sudden you are not just yourself anymore. It is this almost perverse combining and pulling into multiple consciousnesses into the same mind, into the same body. And you would also have felt an immense amount of power go coursing through this new body that your alternate selves were all of a sudden sharing. On the 14 Arcana check, God, Atticus, you don't have any frame of reference for this in magic. On the 18, Vox, you don't get a lot more. You don't have experience with this type of magic. You couldn't like put a finger on what it is or where it, but deep in your gut, you look around you and your eyes fall on, it's still within the hour after Fauna left. Polymorph spell is still active, so you still see Atlas sitting there, blonde hair, little 12-year-old kid. Whatever you see something in Atlas or Bert for a moment. One body, two souls. And you're out of it. You're out of the moment. Like, you're kind of zoning out on, you're all three in this space now. Notori and the twins are still there. Atlas is still sitting there, kind of Atticus, that like you I think seconds ago had experienced that first pang, and Atticus is sitting there, his hand on your back. You all right, Dad?
Atticus is like, yeah, I
Okay.
haven't been called that in so long.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I did it a couple times back. I'm going to make a little check. Hold on. Dad, I feel weird. Like,
What?
I don't know. I feel this body seems right, but then it also doesn't, and I feel pulled in two directions.
What are you feeling, bud? What's
I remember the manor. I remember where I grew up, and you and Mom and the meadow, but I remember other things too, Daddy. It's weird. Like, I remember you looked a lot like me when you were little.
been an image?
I don't know, Dad. Something's wrong. I'm scared.
There's nothing wrong with being scared. It's part of life, and being scared of something is the first step at understanding it too. So just know you're not alone.
Atlas is just going to reach over and give you a big hug. Go ahead and make me an insight check real quick, Atticus.
13.
Okay. On a 13, God, it's been a long time since you felt Atlas's arms around you like that. And whatever is going on, whatever has happened, you know without a doubt he feels safe. And that feels good. To know that you can offer your child something like that. How long do you think we have to wait for, till she pulls on the cord?
Could be hours, could be minutes, seconds. Hey, Vox, Nix, did she say how long she was going to be gone for? Was there any time frame on this?
Not to me. To be honest, I was a little distracted at Notori. You're kind of running the show here on that front.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Just kind of waiting for the pull on the tether, and then there it is. Okay, well, all right. No one has to make a check for this. You see, almost as it is pulled, this shimmering golden cord of light appears, gets tight in the air. Before you, I think, you'd all come up to that waterfall before, like, Notori and the twins just start to follow that cord. It leads behind the waterfall back to that same space with the tree, still the notch in it from where you took a swing at Atticus. And there is a golden black door on the far side of the little space that you're in.
Nyx has Wax and Wayne out. They're braced, just at the ready. Like Fauna said, we don't know what's gonna come out.
Within the first door, what if we just open it and we walk through? We've walked through tons, Atticus. You remember that place. You remember what happened. This door's here. It might just be a sign to follow.
I think we gotta go through.
Atticus is going to turn to Atlas and be like, well, apparently not that long.
Fauna does have impeccable timing.
Yeah. Atticus, if any door, any time, you know how I say it. And he's going to start walking towards the door.
Okay.
Atticus Phoenix, famous for saying any door, anytime.
Any door, anytime. Very.
I have questions.
Everyone's behind.
You don't want to know.
Oh,
Has he ever said it?
I think I know. Oh gosh.
You all step through, and what happens after that, we will determine in the session that happens, I think 2 weeks from now, on like the 27th, when everyone's back together. I will say, though, that this is not quite the end of the session because we are cutting back to the Evewood. But for Atticus, Nyx, and Box, it ends with the door.
Bye-bye.
Which obviously you can all hang around to, get the lore dump that you're about to get. But
Somebody took notes for me.
No.
Fair that I did pass my last death save, so
Um,
goodbye.
Peren, you are following Flora down the path, and it doesn't take too long before you get there. You see the clearing where a very familiar cabin sits. Out on the porch of that cabin, you see an older man. Has, white hair, little longer, falls to about the jawline, kind of swept back on the side a little bit. Simple tunic, a little ragged, looks like maybe it was patched poorly from some cuts and tears that it sustained. Just sitting there smiling on the front porch in a chair. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
$14. It's so dumb that I can roll a 7 and I get a 14.
I think in this moment, there are some things that you are still remembering, Peren. A lot has started to get kind of fuzzy. So you don't really... There's maybe something familiar about the man, but you can't quite place it. As you and Flora enter into the clearing, he's going to look over at you. Ah. Hello.
Oh. Hi?
Yes.
Didn't know there was someone here.
I didn't know anyone would be coming. Forgive me. Can I offer you anything? How long have you been walking?
Not long, and also for, I don't know, lifetimes. Yeah, I'd love a tall glass of, like, internal peace.
Yeah. Wouldn't we all? You know what? I think I have just the thing. Hold on a minute. And you see he gets up and goes into the cabin. Doesn't shut the door behind him. Flora's gonna look over to you. This was it, wasn't it?
What's that, Songbird?
The dreams that I have where my sister's alive and we're together. It's here. It's this place. You brought us here.
Yeah, I did. A long time ago.
What happened?
I failed.
Why do I have dreams of a life that with a sister that I didn't have to kill? With a mother that I didn't have to. Why Why do I remember 2 lives?
Peren touches her ever so slightly on the shoulder. As this is still not really a person that's familiar to him. I don't know what is making these things happen, so I can't answer that. But you were here, and you were safe, and then I failed to keep you safe, and I let you down. And that was my fault. Because I thought I could do better. I thought it was like someone had convinced me that I could do a good job if I tried hard enough, and they convinced me that mistakes didn't happen and that it would be all right. But mistakes happen, and I couldn't save you.
What if... What if I can save myself? And I just want you to be there to see me when I do.
It's that you might actually be saying that, and it scares me to think that you're a figment of my imagination, and it scares me to think that you might be able to. But I always knew what the real truth was, which is that I was never gonna save either one of you. I just wanted you to feel safe, and you were always going to be able to do whatever you needed to do. So yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for whatever you need me to be for. I don't know if I'm alive anymore, technically. I kind of lost track of that. I lost track of who was making my decisions a long time ago, but out of all the things I've ever messed up, out of all my mistakes, the one thing I'm really sure of is that it wasn't wrong to care for you and your sister, and to put myself on the line to take care of you and do everything I could. And it caused a lot of bullshit to happen. And I don't know, maybe everything's fucked. But if that's the case, that means mistakes are pretty okay to keep making. So you do it. You do whatever you can think of to do.
The old man comes back outside. Tea's ready?
Right, this guy's also here.
Found it in the house. Made it as best I could. You seem familiar.
Yeah, I get that a lot, usually from people trying to, like, harvest my soul.
Yeah, I don't... It's strange, you know. I've been here... I think... I've been trying to figure it out. I think maybe only a couple of weeks, but... The air here, it changes you. There's something about this place that protects. I don't know. I feel lighter than I have in years. Come sit down. Have a...
Peren's still standing in front of the cabin, and he reaches out towards the man. He's like, "Sorry, could you help me up? It's been a long day."
Of course. leans in and takes your hand.
Peren just gets a little close and looks at his face again and tries to place this person who's in his cabin.
I'll let you give me one more perception check.
22.
I had set the DC at 20 earlier. You look into the face, absolutely transformed. The eyes, soft now, focused in, not like hungry, not glazed. The smile, still large, shows a lot of teeth, but genuine. There's nothing cold and calculating going on behind it. As Balak looks down at you. Come on over here. There's another chair up on the...
Yeah, no, I remember how many chairs are here. I guess let's eat. Peren follows him in and closes the door behind him.
Flora's coming in too. I mean, unless you close the door on Flora.
No, I let her go first.
Go. Yeah, you all come in. Balak prepares you a pretty simple meal. You know, there's provisions here in the cabin. It looks like he's been stocking up on things too. He kind of makes small talk with you. He's bustling about. But give me another perception check as you were sitting in here.
Just 10.
Okay. I think there are overwhelming feelings of like nostalgia that you can't even really place sitting in here. Flora sitting next to you. Balak, a very different Balak from the one that you knew for quite some time. Just outside, you know, the window is pushed open too, so there's a nice breeze from the eave wood flowing through the house. On a branch that kind of almost comes through the window into the cabin, there's a small yellow bird perched, just watching Balak prepare food. And I think on that 10%, he's not trying to hide it. You are gonna hear, you know, as he's kind of his small talk dies down, as he's focusing in on what he's doing. You just hear him singing softly to himself. In the green wood, on the winding path, I find myself at peace.
Peren's gonna look around for the wooden stool, and he's gonna, the one that he used to give to the girls so they could reach the top step, and he's gonna sit on it.
You take a seat on it. As you do, again, your memory is stabilizing a little bit in this place, but there are still things that are fuzzy. You feel like there are things that you can't quite get at. The song, the melody, the way that Balak is singing. You look over and you realize that, like, all Balak's notes to this song as he continues are matched by the small yellow bird outside the window. And the words There's something about the words. You listen closer. In the greening wood, on the winding path, I find myself at peace when the hunt no longer calls to me. And with you, my dear, I know no fear in the grandeur of your company. Through the burning flame and through the endless night, in the gardens of my youth. Oh, every hour I dreamed a world where I was holding you. You've heard the song before. Because your mother used to sing it to you. And for the first time now, you're hearing it sung by someone else, and you're seeing a small yellow bird on a branch outside the window match every note.
Why am I here? Why is this happening?
Well, I don't know why you're here. I don't rightly know why I'm here. It's hard to remember anything really that happened outside this cabin. It's very unusual, like coming out of a spell or waking up. I think most of my life feels like I've been asleep. I have dreams that I've done terrible things. But here, in this place, I feel safe. I hope you do too. Cucumbers aren't quite ripe, but,
Yeah, it takes another couple weeks this time of year.
Yeah. Well,
Peren is he's beginning to grow increasingly ill at ease, being in warm environment. It feels very wrong to him. Partially because he kind of promised to himself that he would never allow himself to feel so warm and comfortable after the damage that it's caused, and he's been punishing himself ever since. So he is beginning to feel stressed.
Flora's going to look over at you, kind of like the meal being finished. Balak is starting to clear the plates. Flora looks over. In my dream, there's a man. He comes and he tells me that I'm supposed to. I think I'm supposed to tell you something. I can't. He's always. It's hard to see his face sometimes. He wears these flowers in this crown around his head, and they fall down, and it's. Even now, it feels like it's fading. But he tells me that he put the dreams there of this place and of you. And that they're not just dreams, that they're real. And he says you get to choose. Peren, when Flora says that, you remember the moment where Orchestris, even in this moment, like an idea, a simple single idea of your adoptive father returns, and you remember the moment where he offered you the Ornament of Rights and told you that you could choose.
Now, to be clear, I'm not confused at all, but Peren is feeling a little confused by this memory.
Flora's going to reach across and grab your hand. There's something. He said if we remember, it won't stay with us long. Something is taking him. Something is taking him out of the world. And he says if it takes him, it'll take you too.
What am I supposed to do about it? Things have been taking me out of the world for a long time. I wasn't myself for a long time. I didn't get to choose.
I don't know, but there's... In the dream... In the dream, he says you get to choose, and then he reaches into himself and he pulls out his heart. But it's a key. It's like it's made out of wood or something. I don't know. And you see that Flora's eyes fall on the handle of Ornaments of Rights.
Yeah. I mean, this is a device with lots of different hidden mechanisms. It's a mace. It's a two-handed mace, and yet there's 20 feet of chain inside of it. There's mechanisms galore. So he just kind of like feels around an area that he has never really explored. He was taught how to use this. He knows where the releases are, but he feels around the handle where there shouldn't be anything.
This can be an Arcana check or an Investigation check, and you're going to do it with advantage.
That would be a 13.
On Arcana or Investigation?
That would be Investigation.
Okay. 13 on Investigation. You're examining. There's no hidden... But the handle itself... I've never really thought about it before. It is wood, but it's exceptionally hard. Much like the heartwood of a tree. You don't find any levers but you do feel a certain spot sounds hollow in the handle.
He's going to reach into his pockets and pull out a little wooden bird that he's been carrying around without understanding why. And he's going to look at it, and he's going to grip the handle again, and this time he's going to open it like he's opening a door.
You go to twist the handle, much like the handle of like a knob or a you hear a voice that in this moment, just for an instant, is familiar to you. As Orchestris says,
I know my opinion doesn't count for much, but I do think it's a good choice.
the handle comes off. And you see that inside is just a small wooden key. Looks like it's carved out of heartwood. I think that this thing is going to be so innate to Peren's abilities that I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You feel it in your hand. You know immediately this is going to let you access something that has been in you since you were born. No longer on whims or chance or fate or moments. You get to choose when and how to use it and what for. The technical aspects of this is that from this point on, as long as you have the key, Peren can cast teleport once per day, as per the 7th level spell. In addition to that, the teleport spell is not locked into the plane. As long as you know the place that you're going, you can teleport extraplanarly. What would be the word? But you can travel between planes to using the teleport spell as long as you know the place that you're going, and as long as you have some sort of anchor to that plane, so an object that came from it. For example, if you're trying to go to the Feywilds, you would need an object from the Feywilds to tether you to that space. If you're trying to go, any realm would require, but as long as you have that anchor, you can open a door to anywhere.
Right. I have to save my friends, though. I can't believe I'm saying this. Fauna, I think you should stay here. Flora, you're here.
There's another dream. There's another dream, but I don't like it. there's this thing in the darkness, and it took something. It took the man from my dreams. I think it took you. I think it took everything. I think the world that we're in right now, whatever this place is, it took all of that. It was so hungry. I think you have to get it back.
All right. I mean, I guess I'll keep trying.
If I stay here, if you do this, I think I become something else. What am I? Where you come from?
Broken. But it's not your fault. It's just something that happened. And it's something that might happen again. I'm hoping if you stay here, maybe it takes longer. But it will take you. But so will 5 other things. So will 10 other things. So will tripping on a rusty nail. I don't know anymore how to keep you safe, but I tried to teach you when you were young. I don't know if you remember it. How to take care of yourself. And you seem, every once in a while it seems like you want to do that too. So I think I have to let go. And just hope. And I think you have to do your best and not worry about what you are or what you're not. Just try to be what you want to be.
The curse.
Yeah.
In the Feywilds. You have to go there to break it.
If I go there, I'll die. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I've been told I'll die if I do 20 other things. I'm getting tired of told what I can't do. I'm getting tired of getting told not to come back to somewhere that I want to be. My life has been fucked up one time after another. I'll do what I can. You do what you can.
Okay. I think I'll be okay. Come in. When this is done and this thing's dead, and come and find me in the Evewood.
Peren hands her the little wooden bird. And he looks at the yellow bird in the window and just kind of whistles at it. And he turns to leave.
You whistle, I told you once that you would never need to make an animal handling check again for Amos. So as you walk to the door of the cabin, you whistle. On your shoulder. No words, but Amos chirps into your ear. And nestles in. Your hand goes to the knob. Flora behind you, still sitting at the table. Alec finishing the dishes. He turns around. You headed out so soon.
Yeah. I have things that I need to do my best at.
Oh. Well. Good luck then. And in the moment, hold on, I want to look up the spell to make sure that I'm right about this. Would help if the internet was on this. Oh, come on. Oh, there it goes. Do you have to be close to them? Fantastic.
Also, I rolled 21 on animal handling just in case.
Cool. Yeah. Balk's going to cast Heroism on you. Till the spell ends, you're immune to being frightened, and you gain temporary hit points. You will gain 5 temporary hit points at the start of each turn. And the spell is going to last for 1 minute once you go through this door.
That's fucking ominous.
You open the door. And as you open the door, the noise of the Evewood fades behind you. There's a coldness. Darkness calls out. Far, far in the distance, in the other side of this black nebulous space, you do see, it's hard to make out because it's so far away, but some kind of golden door. Your foot makes contact in the space in front of you. And then the next one. And from somewhere, deep in this space, you hear the sound of something enormous. Devouring the very last bits of a meal. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Seems cool.
Jesus Christ. So worried.
And we will be back next week, not with actually a one shot, and then with Castle Run 2 weeks from now. But thanks to everyone who tuned in.
I wonder what the one shot's about.
The one shot's name is Doors.
Also something bad and terrible, probably.
Yeah.
I'm